Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Against the Odds. So, as you know, this week we have a special episode. There was no poll last week, but there will be one this week, so if you're looking to vote for next week's deck, make sure to follow the link in the description to the article on the site. You'll find a poll in there. You can vote for next week's deck. Anyway, so this week, I figured there's kind of this rumor going around, and we talk about it sometimes, about me just not being a very lucky Magic player. So I figured we could put this to the test in the best way that Magic has. And the best way, I think, to test our luck or perform a luck test is to play a coin flip deck. So we are playing Krark's Thumb, the luck test version in Modern, and basically we have a lot of cards that have potential to be really powerful if we win coin flips. And then we have Krark's Thumb, which lets us flip 2 coins instead of 1, which theoretically increases our odds to 75% of winning a coin flip instead of just being 50-50. So it shifts the odds in our favor. Still luck required. So we're still going to have to get a little bit lucky to have these cards pay off. But it should be interesting. And this will hopefully determine once and for all just how lucky or unlucky we are. A quick reminder before we break down Krark's Thumb luck test. If you enjoy this deck and you enjoy Against the Odds in general, it would be awesome of you if you could take a quick second, click that subscribe button down in the corner of your screen. It's a great way to support the channel and the site for free. So Krark's Thumb itself is a 2-mana legendary artifact, and it's really simple. If you would flip a coin, you get to flip 2 instead, and you get to choose which one you want to use. So instead of just flipping 1 coin and calling heads or tails, you flip 2 coins, and you get to pick. If they come up 1 heads and 1 tails, you're guaranteed to win. So it increases the odds of winning a coin flip. So this is hopefully going to improve our luck. A normal coin flip, 50-50 shot of winning, but basing a deck around a whole bunch of 50-50 shots are not very good. However, 75% shots, that's essentially where we were, if you remember, the Expertise Fused Reanimator deck, when we were going to try to mill things with Breaking Entering and get them back to the graveyard. Roughly the same percentage. We remember how that worked out, so we're essentially giving ourselves a whole bunch of shots at that 75%er, and we'll get to see. I mean, theoretically, we should win a lot of them, way more than we lose. But we'll see what happens. So what are our payoff cards for flipping these coins? There are 3 different ones. So the best is Fiery Gambit, which requires a lot of luck, but is absurd when it works. So essentially, there's a lot of text on this card, but what it comes down to is we get to flip up to 3 coins. The first coin flip, what we're flipping for is 3 damage to a creature. The second flip, we're flipping for 6 damage to each opponent. Then the third flip, and this is where the payoff is absurd, if we win that flip as well, we draw 9 cards and untap all of our lands. So 9 cards and untap our lands, that's a massive card draw spell for only 3 mana, and you get the first effect. So if you get to the third flip, you automatically get the first and second flips as well, those abilities. So the end result of this card, with maximum luck achieved, is 3 damage to a creature, 6 damage to our opponent, draw 9 cards, untap all of our lands for 3 mana. The downside is, if we miss on any one of those flips, we lose every ability. So if we go all the way to the third one, it's really like a game show on a Magic card. So we go all the way to the third one, we go for the ultimate goal of drawing 9 and tapping our lands. If we miss that flip, we lose the damage to our opponent and to the creature as well. We can stop whenever we want to, but I mean, draw 9 cards is the last ability, so I don't expect that we'll be stopping too often. Our next coin flipper is kind of our finisher, Mana Clash. Basically, each player flips a coin. Whoever's coin comes up tails loses a life. They take a damage, and you keep repeating this process until both coins come up heads. Of course, if we have a Krark's Thumb out, we can flip 2 coins, so we can try to manipulate the results to our advantage, and potentially make Mana Clash go a long ways, like do 10 damage or 15 damage for only 1 mana. And then Stitch in Time is like a Time Walk, 3 mana, take an extra turn if you win the coin flip. So normally 50-50 to get an extra turn, which isn't exciting, but with Krark's Thumb, 75% to get an extra turn for 3 mana actually seems pretty reasonable. We don't really have any significant combo with this other than to make another land drop, draw another card, maybe cast another Fiery Gambit or Mana Clash, so it's not like we're comboing off with extra turns, just getting some coin flipping value. We also have Snapcaster damage, and you probably noticed Fiery Gambit, Stitch in Time, all those cards, Mana Clash, are flashbackable. They are instant or sorceries, so we can get them back with our Snapcaster, reuse them. So the way we're most likely going to win the game is Mana Clash, deal a bunch of damage, flashback Mana Clash, or Fiery Gambit, flashback Fiery Gambit, draw a bunch of cards. That's kind of the idea of the deck. Then we have some cantrips, which also work well with our Snapcaster, plus they help us find our pieces. We only have the 4 Krark Thumbs, so our way to make sure we have one, because casting Stitch in Time and our other coin flip cards, when we don't have a Krark Thumb, is just so risky. So these help us make sure we can find our Krark Thumb, just cycle through our deck, do some scrying, find the pieces that we need. We also have a bit of protection, Lightning Bolt to kill early game creatures, Remand and Spell Snare to just slow our opponent down a little bit, make sure we can resolve our Krark Thumb, our big finishers after we have the thumb, and then 3 copies of Blood Moon. We're a blue-red deck, we can easily support it, so we might as well slow our opponent down a bit more with Blood Moon. We're not going all in on the prison package. As you can see, we don't even have 4 Blood Moons. There's no ensnaring bridges or anything like that, but it's just an easy include in a blue-red deck because it's easy to manipulate the mana base in a way where Blood Moon slows down the opponent more than it slows down us, and while our deck can theoretically do crazy things and win like on turn 3 with Mana Clash if we get really lucky, most of the time we're going to have to resolve multiple coin flip spells to really win, and Blood Moon just buys us a bit more time against some decks. Mana base wise, bunch of fetch lands, Spire Bluff, Steam Vents, and then way more islands and mountains. We can fetch out the islands, and then we play Blood Moon. Everything still works in our deck. And then in the sideboard, we get a bunch more removal and Dismember and Roast, some sweeper effects in Ratchet Bomb as it Staticaster to Anger the Gods, Vandal Blast for Affinity, Dispel, and Ceremonious Rejection. As counter spells, Ceremonious Rejection is kind of sneakily good right now with Tron and Eldrazi being popular decks. Fulminator Mage, also for Tron, blow up some lands, connect creature lands and stuff as well, and Relic of Progenitus for graveyards, and that is Krark's Thumb Luck Test.deck, and that's what we're playing this week for Against the Odds. So really, the question is, how lucky are we? How many coin flips can we win, even with a Krark's Thumb? Like, Challenge 1 is getting Krark's Thumb. Hopefully we're good at that, since we have Serum Visions and Sleight of Hand and Snapcaster to flash them back if need be, to cycle through our deck. Once we get down to Krark's Thumb, we just keep taking 75% chances and hoping that those chances can win us the game. So I really have no idea what to expect. There's a lot of variants. I know that Mana Clash and Fiery Gambit in specific have potential to be incredibly powerful for their mana cost, dealing way more damage than they should. Fiery Gambit drawing us a ton of cards. Like, crazy things can happen if we're lucky enough. The question is, are we lucky enough? And that's what we're kind of figuring out, is do we have enough luck to win with these Fiery Gambits and Mana Clashes and have the coin flips fall in our favor? So I guess we'll see. I really have no idea even how to predict what our record will be. I think the deck is okay, but it really comes down to the coin flip luck. If we're lucky and we flip well, I think we could win some games and even some matches with this deck. We got a lot of good stuff going on. Potentially powerful effects if we win the coin flips, some of the good blue cards, Blood Moons for slowing our opponents down, ways to cycle through our deck. So I think we have a decent plan for winning games, but it all comes down to the luck factor. So that's what we'll have to wait and see. How many coin flips can we win? Hopefully sooner or later we get lucky. Anyway, that is Krark's Thumb Luck Test, and that's our Against the Odds deck for this week. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoy the gameplay video, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you haven't already, take a minute and click that subscribe button. It's a great way to support the channel for free, and you'll find the next video in the playlist right here.